All right, so today I have a fun use case to talk about that relates to DomoStats. So DomoStats is an awesome connector. It has a lot of great stuff, but sometimes there will be data that you need in your instance that won't be found in the DomoStats connector or the Domo governance connectors. And so this actually was inspired by a recent question in the community where they were asking for, hey, there's no DomoStats for my instance management, for my subscriber instances. How can I get that in a data set into Domo? And so today what I'm going to show you is how you can create a data set like this using the JSON No-code Connector. You can see here, basically it's a list of all of our Domo subscriber instances that is taken from here. And so we're going to go ahead and show that. So one of the great things about Domo is that Domo is really good at APIs, their product APIs. And so in this case, the fact that I'm seeing a table here in my Domo instance means that this data had to come from somewhere, right? It can't just come from nowhere. It has to come into my browser to the client somehow. And so the way that we can kind of reverse engineer this is we can actually inspect this page and come over to the network tab. And I always like to refresh my screen. And in this case, I've shown this a couple times, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop my recording and then find that there is a specific API that came in. And in this case, there's some trial and error. I figured out that there's this endpoint here called subscribers. And I look at the response and I can see that it is a array of JSON that shows us the different subscribers that represent this table. So in this case here, what this means is this is a Domo API. It's a product API that we can hit. And actually, we can hit it using the JSON no-code connector, as well as we can get a dev token from our admin section of Domo. And in this way, we can easily create a data set with this request that we see here. So honestly, like if you're in Domo at all, you can do this. Like I've been playing around doing this everywhere. Anytime you see something that has a list, basically, it's safe to assume, not always, but it's safe to assume that there's probably an API behind it. So for example, here, let's say I wanted to see the App Studio apps that are embedded. I could again inspect my page, come to network, refresh the page. And in this case, let's see, it takes me to the card. So actually, if I restart my recording and come over to App Studio apps and stop it, we can see again that there is a request coming in. And anytime you see this limit and offset, it's a pretty good sign that it's a good API, right? In this case, it's a post request. The last one's a GET request, but it's pretty safe to assume that if we look at the response, it's in a pretty good fashion, right? In this case, JSON again. So it's safe to assume that we'll be able to pull this into Domo using the JSON no-code connector. But let's go ahead and use that connector. What I always do is I always pull it into Postman first. So in this case, this is me in Postman, and I'm just doing some testing here to make sure that it is a good request. In this case, this is how it comes back as JSON. So basically, it's just going to be a copy and paste into my Domo instance. So let's just copy it. Copy this guy. And then if we come back here to my JSON no-code connector, let's say get the data. And in this case, I have already gotten the dev token for my admin instance. I think I've talked about that a couple times. So if you want, I'll link the video where I talk about this. But I have the dev token already. So now all that's left to do is paste in the endpoint. And then we'll click next. And we will do some pagination. So we'll get offset by records. And it's called offset, page size of 200. Or no, sorry. Limit is the offset. And then we can see that it's pulling in pretty well. You can come in here into parsing and make sure that it parses out correctly. It's already doing it, which is great. This case, I'll just click next. Click next again. I'm sure you guys have seen this before. And we'll just call it DomoStats subscriber instances. Click save. And then this is going to run pretty quick because I only have a couple subscribers in this account. But in this case, and it was not. What happened here? Okay, something did not like that. I went too fast to this. The data does not contain the total number of records. So in this case, you just click no there, click save. And then this just lets it know, the connector know that I think when it returns like a blank array, it'll know to stop. And that is something important. But in this case, let's try and run this again and see how it goes. Awesome. So now it ran correctly. So now if I come back to data, we can see that we have an awesome data set with all of our Domo subscriber instances. So it looks very similar to the table that we have over here. And yeah, there you go. You got your own DomoStats connector. So hope you found this helpful. Thanks.